Welcome back to DXB today, where we continue exploring simple, effective ways to feel better every single day. Speaking of which, the UAE is coming together and so are many companies who are offering free support and services to residents, such as our next guest, Kris Rai, who is the co-founder of Joint Space. Welcome back to the show, Kris.
Great to be here again. Thank you for having me.
Wow, a lot has happened since you've last been on the show. So I wanted to ask you about this new program that you've launched, Joint Space Community Wellness Support Program, where you offer free daily sessions for people during these uncertain times. Can you tell us what these sessions are?
Yeah, I mean, we Joint Space is quite a unique space. So we have medical services, functional medicine services, we have classes that we run in our space, we have a recovery space, we do a lot of different things. And as such, we wanted to support our community as much as we could when these things started to happen, when the situation began. And since people were afraid to come out of their homes at the beginning, we thought we would reach out to them. So the team together wanted to do what we could do to support the guys, and we'd have these daily programs that we have, 2 a day. With different topics depending on the skill set of the speaker or of the team member, and we've been doing it now for 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any actionable examples that you could share with everyone at home? So maybe a breathing technique or exercise that people could do at home right now to kind of calm their nervous systems?
Yeah, I mean, the most accessible exercise to do is to be able to control your breath, because your breath has a big effect on your nervous system, right? So how people feel when you have a sense of like elevation, or you feel nervous, you feel anxious, you can use your breath as like the gateway to essentially control your central nervous system. So a nice simple one is you take a 2-to-1 breath ratio, where you might take a breath in for 4 seconds, and then you hold that breath for 2 seconds at the top, hold it for 2, and then you slowly breathe out for 8. Slowly breathe out through your mouth, and then you can hold it at the bottom when the breath is out for another couple of seconds. And you recycle this for 3 minutes or so, and you will noticeably feel your body will calm down, your heart rate will slow down, and you will just feel more relaxed after. Yeah.
What is actually happening, Kris, in our bodies when we, experience this stress and anxiety? I suffer from anxiety, and I don't know what it is, right? So it's usually when I travel. Now, I'm not afraid of flying in any way. In fact, once I'm on the plane, I'm fine, which is weird. But the lead up to it and getting there, I'm doing all of the breath work that you've taught me, because I'm a Joint Space patient. But what is happening? Because I can't stop it. It takes a lot to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, look, fear is a very powerful emotion. And it's the strongest, if arguably the strongest emotion that we have. And it's part of the survival mechanism. So in terms of what it is, your body senses a threat of some kind, perceived or real, can't tell the difference, because actually the threat is the threat. Even if you've never experienced it, the thinking about it is enough to give you this raise in cortisol levels and the stress hormones that come. So when you do things like the breath work, but breath work is it's one tool of many things. How we manage and deal with stress can be very complicated. And a lot of people have certain maybe experiences in their life which then make them more predisposed to having more fear about things, right? So in terms of what's happening in the body, well, it's a stress response. The cortisol levels are going up, your heart rate increases, your breath rate increases, and it's part of the survival mechanism. So the more different tools that we have to manage these responses, the more we can try and
it's so funny, because I don't realise how often I do breath work when I'm anxious, and a lot of my friends just think I'm huffing, like, oh, she's in a bad mood, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, and they're like, she's stressed. Ready to go.
Yeah, it's getting it all out, right?
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. And Kris, you're such a cool, calm character, right? We're all trying to be like you. How does social media play an impact on this? And at the moment, we're really looking at things and analysing and trying to keep up to date. But is it doing us harm as well?
I mean, look, all of these things can be helpful and not so helpful. In terms of how you feel when you're using it, I mean, trying to manage exposure to social can be very helpful, especially if it's creating a stress response, right? how we use it. It can be, there's a lot in there that you can actually find, right? So there's a lot of really helpful information in social media, but of course the algorithm is giving us the things that we need. So how I manage with it, you know, I like to keep up to date because I need to, because of the team and my family and everybody else, right? So I try to just portion a small part of the day and realize that, okay, it's happening. But the more I read about it, doesn't mean I'm making a material change to what's happening, right? But I need to have enough awareness to know what's happening in the situation, in developments, but try not to let it dominate my day. You know, so finding a very fine balance.
I completely relate to what you're saying because I took my daughter for a staycation, for a relaxing staycation. I'm sat by the pool just watching the news. So even though I'm there for the purpose of relaxation, I'm not able to because I'm having FOMO from stress. I don't know if that's even a thing. So I wanted to ask you a little bit more about your program because you started this just a few weeks ago. How important is that community spirit when it comes to managing stress? Because we are all in this together. We're all experiencing the same thing.
I mean, community creates resilience.
Yeah.
You know, in our clinic, for example, you know, we have a large team, and everybody always comments that when they come into the space, they automatically feel better because you go out of an environment where you're isolated and suddenly you become part of a group that's having a shared experience. So when we do our programs, we always try to create the same thing so that people are watching us having a shared experience in some way, you know. Yeah.
And does it, in general, I think it makes you feel better to know that you're not the only one going through with this, correct?
Yeah. I mean, in our community, in Al Sakal, for example, it's like layers of community for us. So we have our team, we have our patients have us. Then we have the community directly around us with the other business owners and the other people coming in to share the space. So when people come to the Avenue, they see us and they maybe go to lots of other places at the same time. And not only that, they see other people out. And then the fear that they have about, you know, maybe I shouldn't leave, but you go out and you see lots of other people. It's very comforting. And that in itself makes you feel that, oh wow, I'm in this with lots of other people as well in a shared experience. You know? So this helps to create a lot of resilience.
How does movement help to relax your nervous system as well? Movement is such a
this is right up Chris's street. This is going to be great.
I always try to think of the human body as one interconnected like ecosystem. So everything that's happening is connected all the time. So sometimes we get caught in the trap of thinking body and mind are separate, but actually there's a constant interaction between the two. That nothing is separate. So when you're physically moving your body, it's another way to encourage joints to move, organs to work, get your heart rate up, you get your hormones working in a positive way. There's a lot of endorphins that are happening during movement. And also it's a chance to like connect to yourself. And then once you connect to yourself, you can feel a bit more grounded. Gives you a sense of who you are a little bit more, because with all of the things that are happening, sometimes you feel constantly you're floating away, like you don't have control over anything, right? But when you're training or moving your body, suddenly like, well, at least I have control over that. So it gives you, there's many layers of how movement can support you like that.
We were talking previously to Alex as well, and Rashi, who was on just before you, about routine and schedules, and especially with what's going on at the moment, because it is so, you know, unprecedented and uncertain times and all these. Are there any tips for anybody watching for how to perhaps structure that within their day?
I think it's also important to realize it's very difficult sometimes to create structure. We often talk about creating structure like it's something quite easy to do, but when you have a lot of stuff happening, it's actually much harder than people think, even for me. So before this happened, my daily routine was just like iron-proof. Even with 2 kids and running the business, I had very specific times of the day that I would do everything that I would do. That changes when a situation happens, right? So you have to learn to adapt. So now, I mean, but still my program is that in the morning I will meditate, I will do my breath work, then I set some time for myself. So I know that I have time for myself between 6 and 7 in the morning, and then again in the evening when everybody's going to bed. So creating this structure can be very helpful.
Nice.
Wow, Kris, thank you so much for being here. I'm definitely going to visit in the Druid space. I think Ash is as well. I think Alexandra will as well.
I'm there
Katie's there
every
all the
week.
time anyway. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, man.
Pleasure.
And see you at the spot very soon. And Alexandra, I think it's that time of the evening as well. We've got to say goodbye to you.
Thank you
so much for being here. It's been
you.
wonderful.
And just be
to
kind
see
to yourselves. That's the biggest takeaway.
And each other.
and each other. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ad.